Can the same algorithms behind Amazon's warehouses and Google's search engine help us understand how to take risks, when to quit, and how to better organize our lives? Algorithms to Live by Brian Christian and Tom Griffiths aims to show how computer algorithms can be applied to everyday life. A different computer science problem is discussed in every chapter, with algorithms explained and advice given on how to adapt the algorithm to real life. Here are 3 such ideas. Imagine you are a single young man looking for true love in a big bustling city. After many successful dates, you realize there is no way of finding the best match, since the next date could always be a better fit. You wonder how to know when you have met enough people to know who your best match is. What if the process of gathering information costs you that very match? The problem described above is an example of the optimal stopping concept, which is the topic of the first chapter. When considering the first candidate, you don't have information, as you have no basis of comparison. However, when you reach the last candidate, you lose all your agency, as you have no choice but to accept her or end up all alone. One solution is known as the look then leap rule, where you set a predetermined number to look through, then choose the first one that exceeds the highest you have seen. By going through 37% of the candidates before leaping, we can end up with the best possible candidate 37% of the time, regardless of how many candidates there are to begin with. Of course, the above problem, known commonly as the secretary problem, makes 2 key assumptions. Number 1, the girl you choose will never reject you, and number 2, you cannot return to a girl you have previously dated. When there's a chance of rejection, you should adjust by leaping early, and if there's an option to recall, leap later. Now imagine you are in a casino full of different slot machines with different and unknown win rates. Which machines do you play to maximize the amount you can make? A strategy you can try is win, stay, lose, shift, where you stick to a machine while you're winning and switch to a new one as soon as you lose. For example, in the case of 2 machines A and B, you start off with A, and if you win, you continue with A. As soon as you lose, you switch over to B until the next loss, where you will switch back to A and so on. Using this method, it has been proven to reliably achieve better results than if you chose completely by chance. This problem falls under the umbrella of explore versus exploit, explained in the 2nd chapter of the book. Exploring refers to taking risks and trying out new things in search of improvements, while exploiting means savoring what we know. The value of exploration goes down with time, as we are left with less time to actually benefit from the better choice. On the other hand, the value of exploitation goes up with time, since the best option you know now is at least as good as the best option you know last month. In today's world, explore versus exploit comes in the form of A/B testing online, where the consumer is the jackpot. Explore versus exploit also explains many phenomena we observe. In recent years, Hollywood has been increasing the releases of sequels, which is exploiting as they are a guaranteed cash cow, with an existing fan base as compared to exploring new types of movies. It also explains why older people tend to have smaller social networks. As they reach the end of their life, they enter a state of exploitation to maximize the remaining time left. Lastly, the 4th chapter talks about the idea of caching. A cache is basically a small component that stores data so that future requests for that data can be served faster. If you have been shopping around for a new laptop recently, you definitely would have noticed that in each computer, there is a small chunk of fast memory, like the RAM, as well as a larger, slower memory, like the hard disk or SSD. This is because there is a trade-off between size and speed when it comes to computer memory. So, to maximize performance, we need to put the most important and commonly used information into the smaller, faster cache, while leaving the rest in the larger, slower memory. Since the cache is so small, algorithms have to develop to decide what goes into the cache. Least recently used is an algorithm where the current data needed replaces the least recently used data in the cache. It works because data used recently is likely to be used again and vice versa, a concept called locality. There are many possible applications of caching in the real world. For example, By arranging newly returned books to the general bookshelves, the librarians are in fact making it more inefficient, as those books are likely to be borrowed again and thus need to be found again. Instead, those books should be put in a separate, recently borrowed bookshelf. Popular websites like Google load instantly wherever you are in the world because content distribution networks, which are computer servers spaced out around the world, store popular websites so you don't have to access them from the source. All in all, I feel that the book explains some of the common problems computer scientists face while offering solid advice about how to modify the algorithms to better fit the real world. I personally enjoyed this book and would recommend it to anyone looking for a self-improvement book. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more such videos.